Hello everybody, welcome to the MindMajix. So in today's session, we are going to see the introductory questions and answers on the function topic. So the various questions are there, and the first question will be, what will be the output of the following JavaScript statement? Question is grand total equal to eval in bracket in double quotes 10 into 10 plus 5. So the options are 10 into 10 plus 5, 105 as a string, 105 as the integer value, exception is thrown. So the answer is C, because the eval function is a function property of the global object. The argument of the eval function is a string. If the string represents an expression, eval evaluates the expression. If the argument represents one or more JavaScript statements, eval evaluates the statements. So the answer is C, 105 as an integer value. Next question, do functions in JavaScript necessarily return a value? It is mandatory, not necessary. Few functions returns values by default. Some function do not returns any value. So the answer is C. Few functions returns the values by default, because functions generally have a return statement and hence usually return a value. Some function which does not have return statement returns value by default during the executions. Next question, will the following JavaScript code work? 10 squared equal to in brackets function x return x into x, then in bracket value 10. So the answer is yes, error, exception, memory leak. So the answer is yes, because the function name is optional here for function defined as expression. Function expression are sometimes defined and immediately it invoked so that it will work. Next question, what will be the output of the following JavaScript code? Where string to num, so it's a variable, equal to parse int 123 xyz. The answers are 123 xyz, exception nan. Nan stands for not a numeric value. So the answer is A, that is 123. Because the parse int function parses a string and returns an integer, the function returns the first integer contained in the string, or 0 if the string does not begin with an integer value. So here the string begin with the 123 so that it returns the 123 value. Next question, the one-liner code that concatenates all string passed into a function is function concatenate return string dot prototype dot concat dash argument, function concatenate B string dot prototype dot apply argument, C function concatenate string dot concat dot apply argument, D function concatenate string dot prototype dot concat dot apply parameter arguments. So the answer is D, because the concat function or the method is used to merge two or more arrays. This method does not change the existing array, but instead of returns a new array. Apply takes an array of argument and treats each element of that array as a single argument. So that the answer is D. If you have function f and object o, you can define a method named m of o with o dot m equal to m dot f, o dot m equal to f, o equal to f dot m, o equal to f. Function is f, object is o. Then define the method named m of o. So the answer is o dot m equal to f, because a method is nothing more than a JavaScript function that is stored in a property of an object. Yes, method is act as a property of an object. If you have the function f and an object o, you can define a method named m of o with the line like o dot m equal to f. Next question, what will be the equivalent statements of the following JavaScript statement? Where o equal to new object, Then the equivalent statement is where O equal to object, where O semicolon, where O equal to new object, object O equal to new object. Now the answer is C, where O equal to new object. Using new keyword, we can create the instance of object class. As a special case for new operator only, the JavaScript simplifies the grammar by allowing the parentheses to be omitted if there are no arguments in the function call. Hence, you can always omit the pair of empty parentheses in a constructor invocation. Next question, what is the difference between two lines in the following JavaScript code? Double exclamation symbol, object 1 and operator, object 2, semicolon, object 1 and operator, object 2. Answers are both the lines result in Boolean value true, both the lines answer result in Boolean value false, both the lines check just for the existence of the object alone. The first line result in real Boolean value, whereas second line merely checks for the existence of the object. Now the answer for this is D, because the first returns a real Boolean value. The first line returns the real Boolean value because you first negate what is inside the parenthesis because of exclamatory symbol, but then immediately negate it again. So it's like saying something is not truth, making it true. The second example simply checks for the existence of the object 1 and object 2, but might not necessarily return a real Boolean value. Instead, it returns something that is either true Y or false Y. This can be problematic because false Y can be number 0 or empty string, etc. Simple existence can be truth Y. A real Boolean value only be true or the false. Next question, what will be the state stored in the D in the following JavaScript code? C equal to counter, D equal to counter. Then C dot count, D dot count, C dot reset, C dot count, D dot count. Now what is the value stored in D? The value of D is 1, 0, null, undefined. So the answer is A, because the counter function increments the value of the variable by 1 because d dot count is called, and reset function sets the value of the variable back to the 0 because of c dot reset, as d is increment twice and reset function is not called for the d. Therefore, the value of the d is 2. What will be the last statement returns in the following JavaScript code? Function const fun cs var fun cs in bracket var fun cs, it's a array, empty array. Then for loop I varies 0 to 10. Then fun cs is an array equal to functions and it returns the value of I. Every time function get called and it returns the value of I. Then returned fun cs. After completing for loop, it return the array. Now var fun cs equal to const fun cs, var fun cs 5. Now, what will be the last statement returned in the following JavaScript code? 9, 0, 10, or 12? The answer is C, because C means 10. Because the code above creates the 10 closures and stores them in an array. The closures are all defined within the same invocation of the function. So they share access to the variable I, and when the const fun cs returns, the value of the variable I is 10, and all 10 closures share this value. Therefore, all the functions in the return array of the function returns the same value. Next question, what will be the output of following JavaScript code? Array 7591 elements are there. Then mean equal to math.mean.apply in bracket null comma array document.write mean. So display the value of mean. So what is the value of mean? 7519. Answer is C, that is 1. The function apply is used to call a function that contains these values. An argument contains the element of an array, unlike the call. It contains a single array of arguments. Next question, what will be the output of following JavaScript code? Add new function num1 num2 return num1 plus num2. Document.write add in bracket 2 comma 5. Now the values are outputs are 2 5 error 7. Now the answer is D, that is 7. Add function is defined in first line of the code using the new property. Add function returns sum of the two arguments passed to it. So num1 in num1 2 will store, in num2 5 will store, then it returns num1 plus num2, so that it returns the output 7. What will be the output of JavaScript code? Variable a equal to 3.7, b equal to 2, then a equal to cell of a, document.write a into b. What will be the output? 6, 7.4, 7.5, 8. Now the answer is 8. The cell function in JavaScript round off the value passed in its argument to the next higher closest value. So if the value is 3.7, then it becomes 4. Therefore, the value of a will be converted to the 4, and hence the output is 8. So their output is D. What will be the output of following code? A equal to 2.99. Answer equal to floor of a into floor of a. Then console.log ans. So display the answer value. Now the options are 9, 8.31, error 4. So the answer is 4. Because the floor method round off the value of the decimal number to its lower limit. So therefore the floor of a floor will become the 2. So it result the 2 into 2, it become 4. Next question, variable a equal to 225, then display math dot square root of a. Now the square root of 225 is 15, error, undefined, or 225. So the answer is B, that is 15. The JavaScript math square root method, it returns the square root of the given number. So the given number is 225. So if the provided number is negative, then it returns NN, otherwise it returns its square root. Next question, what is the output of following code? P, ID equal to demo, P for paragraph, paragraph tag complete, script. Inside the script tag, function is defined, my function. Then inside the function, document.getElementID demo.innerHTML equal to math.assign h in bracket 1. Script is complete. So what is the value of math.assign h of 1? 0.80, 88, 0.88, 0.50, 0.78. Now the answer is 0.88. Because assign h method returns the hyperbolic arc sign of a number. The method is found in the math library in JavaScript, so that it converts that one value into the hyperbolic arc sign, and its output is 0.88. What will be the following output of the following code? Then in a script, same code is there. So what it displays, math dot 8 tan 2 in comma 8 comma 4. So the 8 tan 2 of 8 and 4 value. What is the value of 8 and 2 for the 8 and 4 value? The options are 1.00, 1.01, 1.05, 1.10. So it gives the output D, that is 1.10, because 8 and 2 method returns arc tangent of the quotient of its argument as a numeric value between pi and minus pi radians. The number returns represents the counterclockwise angle in a radians, not the degrees, between the positive x-axis and the point is x comma y. Next question, which of the following is not JavaScript data type? Undefined, number, boolean, float. So the answer is D, that is float. Because in JavaScript, the data types are number, string, boolean, object, and undefined. These are the data types. Float data type is not available. Which company developed JavaScript? Netscape, Bell Labs, Sun Microsystem, IBM. So the answer is A. Netscape is the software company who developed the JavaScript. Next question. Inside which HTML element do we put the JavaScript? Script tag, head tag, meta tag, style tag. Answer is A. Script tag. Script is the element where we can put the JavaScript code. Which of the following is correct about feature of JavaScript? It cannot handling the dates and time. JavaScript is an object-based scripting language. JavaScript is not interpreted-based scripting language. All of the above. So the answer is B. JavaScript is an object-based scripting language. Yes, because some features of JavaScript are like JavaScript is object-based scripting language, then it gives the user more control over the browser. It handles the date and time. It detecting the user's browser and OS. It is lightweighted. JavaScript is a scripting language and it is not the Java. JavaScript is an interpreter-based scripting language and JavaScript is a case-sensitive language. So these are the various features of JavaScript. Now the next question. Choose the correct JavaScript syntax to change the content of the following HTML code. Document.getElement let's find course dot inner HTML I am let's find course. Then second option, document.getElement by ID let's find course dot inner HTML I am let's find course semicolon. Third option, document.getID let find course equal to I am let find course. Next option, document.getElement by ID let find course dot inner HTML equal to I am let's find course. Which is the correct one? Yes, so B is the correct answer. Document.getElement by ID let's find course dot inner HTML I am let's find course. This is the correct answer because the correct syntax to access the element is document.getElement by ID. This function is correct. Let find course. Here we want to access the content written under that ID. So we used it dot inner HTML. And to specify that, and finally we replace the content with whatever is written inside the code. Next question. Which of the following are advantages of JavaScript? Less server interaction, increase interactivity, richer interfaces, all of the above. So the answer is all of the above. The merits of using JavaScript are less server interaction, immediate feedback to the visitors, increase the interactivity, and the richer interface. All of these are the features of JavaScript, advantages of JavaScript. Which of the following is true about JavaScript? In JavaScript, the client side JavaScript does not allow the reading or writing of the files. B. JavaScript cannot be used for the networking applications. C. JavaScript doesn't have any multi-threading or multiprocessor capabilities. D. All of the above. Which is the true? So the answer is D. All above are the true. Yes, all above lines are true. Microsoft has developed a popular HTML editor called Dreamweaver, Front Page, HomeSite, Macromedia. So the answer is B. Microsoft has developed a popular HTML editor called the Front Page. Front page also provides a web developers with a number of JavaScript tools to assist in the creation of interactive websites. HomeSite 5 is well-liked HTML and JavaScript editor from Macromedia. True, false. It can be true or false. Cannot say. The answer is true. HomeSite 5 is a well-liked HTML and JavaScript editor from Macromedia. Next question. JavaScript ignores spaces, tabs, new lines, all of the above. So the answer is D. That is all of the above. Yes, because JavaScript ignores the spaces, tabs, new line that appears in the JavaScript programs. You can use the space, tabs, and new lines freely in your programs, and you are free to format and indent your programs in a neat and consistent way that make the code very easy to read and to understand. Okay, next question. JavaScript is designed for following purpose. A, to style HTML pages. B, to execute queries related database on the server. C, to add the interactivity to HTML pages. D, all of the above. So the answer is D, all of the above. So JavaScript is designed for the following purposes like style HTML pages, to execute the queries, database on servers, add the interactive to HTML pages, and perform the server-side scripting, all these things. Now, next question. What will be the output of following code? String 1, let's find course int value, where int value equal to 30, then alert string 1 plus int value. Now, what will be the output? Let's find course 30, 30, let find course 30, exceptions. So the answer is let find course 30. Space is not there. JavaScript, the alert function does the typecasting and convert the integer value to the string. After that, it concatenates both the strings and shows the result as a concatenated string. So that the third answer is correct. Among the following, which one is the ternary operator in JavaScript? Hash, double colon, ampersand colon, question mark colon. So the answer is question mark colon. So question mark colon, it is act as the ternary operator. What are the three important manipulations done in the for loop on a loop variable in JavaScript? The A, initialization, implementations, update. B, initialization, test, update. C, initialization, test, implementations. D, all of the above. So the answer is B, initialization, test, and update. This is the updating. This is the changes in a for loop. The initialization, test, and update are the three crucial manipulations of the for loop variables. Firstly, the loop initializes the variable, then tests the conditions, and then after executing the statements, it increments its value so that update is there. Next, what does JavaScript use instead of double equal to and not equal to? A, it uses bitwise checking. B, it uses triple equal to and not double equal to symbol. It uses equals and not equals method. It uses equal to method. So the answer is B. It uses triple equal to symbol and not double equal to symbol. The subset does not include the comma operator, the bitwise operator, or the plus plus and the minus. It also disallows the double equal to not equal to because of the type conversion they perform. So in JavaScript, we require for equal to triple equal to symbol, and for not equal to double equal to symbols. These are required. Next, 33 question. What should appear at the very end of your JavaScript? Script language equal to JavaScript tag. Script slash script language equal to JavaScript, all of the above. The answer is B, that is script. Next question, among the keyword below, which one is not a statement? If, with, debugger, use strict. So the use strict, this is the answer. It is not the keyword. Strict is a directive introduced in ECMA JavaScript file. Directives are not statements because it does not include any language keyword. Also, it can appear only at the start of the script or at the start of the function body before any real statement has appeared. How do we define the term thread? A. Device that controls input. B. Variable that controls movement. C. Controlled execution of applications. D. None of the above. Yes, so answer is C. Controlled execution of the applications. So JavaScript is a single threaded. To clarify better, this means that one single thread handles the event loop. For older browsers, the whole browser shared one single thread between all the tabs. So thread can be defined as a control execution of application. Next question, which symbol is used for comments in JavaScript? Double, backward slash, forward slash, slash star, star slash, slash star, star slash. The answer is B. This symbol is used for the comment. Next question, which of them is not a looping structure in JavaScript? For, while, for which, do while. Answer is C. For which is not the looping structure in JavaScript. Answer is C. For which it is not a looping structure in JavaScript. So it's done for this session. Thank you so much.